Hi, I'm Adam Saleh.
And I'm Kanal Duda.
And today we're going to talk about the rise of American consumer technology in the current era. To start off, consumer tech generally means technology produced for, marketed to, and used by average people. An iPad is consumer technology, but industrial-grade telecom equipment isn't. Consumer tech can be divided into the fields of communication, entertainment, and personal use.
The first aspect of consumer tech is communication. Some examples include phones, internet, social media, and personal devices like computers or laptops.
First things first, let's look at the secret compartment. It's my phone, which is a very important aspect of the rise of consumer technology. Phones initiated their drive in consumer tech when the first wireless radio was developed in 1900s in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Shortly after, in 1947, AT&T built the first commercial telephone service. The cell phone revolution started in the 60s with the invention of the rotary phone.
These phones stood as a superpower of communication until the users found out their conversations were shorter than the time it took to dial the number.
This issue was quickly resolved with the invention of push-button phones by AT&T in the mid-60s. But this didn't last long because, well...
This is obvious. Get him, Kenny.
The plague of telephone cords led the charge in innovation and produced the first cordless phones in the 80s. The reliable nature of the new tech is the reason many of these phones are still used as landlines today.
Now, over to camera 2. Now back to camera 1. But people wanted to be able to contact any other person on the planet at any given time, which led Motorola to release the first commercially available mobile phone in 1984. The portable device weighed in at nearly 2 pounds, but the decreased weight in your pockets could balance the hefty phone out. It cost $4,000.
Since then, phones have gotten smaller, and even smaller. The smartphone was introduced by Apple in 2007, complete with a touchscreen.
The iPhone highlighted the new age, and large clunky phones were a thing of the past. A year later, the Android juggernaut started its ascent, and from that point on became the industry leader in quality smartphones.
A pretty big factor in the popularization of smartphones was the creation of the internet.
Oh, well, I have a question for you though. What came first, the chicken or the egg?
Email.
What?
Yeah, surprisingly, email came before the internet during the mid-70s.
Okay.
The term internet wasn't even coined until 1982. Soon after that, the internet became a harbor for messaging, viruses, a whole new industry of computer science and coding. As soon as dial-up was created in 1995, the internet quickly snowballed into a trendy new way of communicating and a fresh source of memes. The first of this was the new pop culture revolution, the infamous cat picture. In 1998, things really started picking up speed when Google developed its first office in California. This sparked a renewed interest for the internet for over 150 million people in America, and America.
At the turn of the millennium, people started to become skilled programmers, and internet viruses like love bugs started to spread. By 2001, procrastinating students are finally rewarded with the creation of Wikipedia. Later, in 2005, YouTube is created, and a new form of celebrity is created as well, with people like Smosh, Niga and PewDiePie. At this time, Google dominates the online search and advertising business, demonstrating a new age way to make money.
The internet has allowed people to escape regulations, but in 2012, the SOPA Act tried to restrict illegal downloading and streaming, in an offhanded way to limit the power of the internet and give more power to traditional media outlets. However, it failed.
Which is why I'm able to watch 17 again for the 6th time this week, all illegally.
A direct product of the internet and increased focus of communication led to the widespread use of social media. In 2003, the first popular social media platform came out with the development of Friendster, not to be confused with Napster, the malicious MP3 piracy program developed by a Timberlake doppelganger named Sean Parker. Friendster showed a short-lived popularity in Indonesia and the Philippines, but was soon outshined by the almighty MySpace.
However, just a year later, Facebook took the throne as the mainstream social media network, and soon MySpace was.
Is anyone still here?
Twitter rose to its fame in around the same time, and now people are free to rant about their deep, personal issues in front of the entire internet. In 2007, Google Plus changed the game by adding one-on-one communication, and the rest of the social media sites followed. So now, I can slide in the DMs with girls I'm too afraid to talk to on any side of my choosing. In 2013, Facebook acquired acquired the media sharing outlet Instagram, and Twitter initiated the 6-second video social media outlet Vine. Unfortunately, the two social media networks brought fame to terrible people like Nash Greer and Jacob Sartorius. But it showed the rise of a new breed of celebrity, one that wasn't famous for singing or dancing or any real talent at all. Just a bunch of no talent, worthless, corny, homophobic.
Anyways, another facet of consumer tech is the ever so useful computer.
After years of utilization by universities and the government, the first commercially available computer, the Ferranti Mark I, was sold in 1951. These computers were exceptionally large, however, and most Americans could not afford to buy one. The MIT Link could be considered the first personal computer sold to the public. This led to innovations by Texas Instruments, Motorola, Atari, and Apple, all of which constantly upgraded the computer throughout the 1980s.
The first signs of a laptop were seen in the late 80s with the release of Macintosh Portable by our favorite company, Apple. As we head into the 1990s and 2000s, the computer has consistently gotten smaller and more powerful. In 2007, the Amazon Kindle released, which demonstrated the drive for smaller, more portable tech systems in American life. As a small reading device, although its initial inconveniences performed well in the market, and tablets, which had failed to sell as early as the 1960s, first became a significant consumer technology source in 2010 with the release of the iPad.
The iPad allowed people to have access to a computer with the simplicity of a phone, and later releases like the HP Touchpad and Nexus series were developed. So now Americans were connected in all angles of tech, with computers, phones, and tablets, which further led to a more sedentary lifestyle among Americans. This can be seen in the rise of obesity and its complications. Negatives aside, the world was connected on the cloud, and a leading trend towards westernization and emulation of the United States followed in other countries, as seen in many first world Asian countries.
The next step in computers in the consumer market was released in 2015 in the form of the Apple Watch. The creation furthered connectivity and the efforts have not been recorded yet, but the smart everything era will probably result in smart clothes, smart beds, and smart socks. Another aspect of consumer electronics is its contribution to the entertainment industry. Some of these technologies include advancements in television, gaming, and music. The television, invented in the 1940s, sparked a new interest in sports and entertainment broadcasting, which would soon become the popular medium for sitcoms and other television shows. The golden age of TV in the early 50s created an interest in comedy sitcoms and politics, which can be seen today in the popularity of Donald Trump. In 1964, most Americans accessed color TVs. Later in the 1980s, video cassette recorders became widely used, which was the predecessor to the current age of DVR.
Unfortunately, in 1996, ratings were displayed on TV shows and movies, so as a result, I can't watch 17 again without my mom's supervision. In the 21st century, video streaming services like Netflix, Hulu, and Apple TV were made available. That opened up the opportunity for the innovative concept of Netflix and chill, instead of going out to the movies with your date. Now, everything you want
And more.
is available from your home.
Besides TV, gaming has also proved to be an important pastime for us. In 1972, Pong's development paved the way for countless mindless, aimless catalysts for procrastination that would soon dominate our country's youth. Soon after Pong came, the iconic yellow dot, Pac-Man, came into play. Pac-Man's insatiable hunger for justice against Blinky, Inky, Pinky, and Clyde sparked a new interest in games that had a little bit more substance to them. The creation of Mario, our favorite red plumber, and Link, the tunic-wearing, sword-wielding savant, led the way to 21st century gaming and the immense popularity of the Xbox 360 and PS3 in 2005, which coincided with the youth obesity epidemic.
In 2007, the Wii combated this with its high-intensity video games like Wii Bowling, which led to a craze. The popularity of the Wii and PS3 displayed the Japanese influence and overall Asian influence on American consumer tech, which is magnified by the release of StarCraft. Multiplayer games like Counter-Strike connected the world in an intimate way that other forms of communication couldn't. I've never before had a 12-year-old insult my mother before I played NBA 2K online. In addition to gaming, music connected the world in its shift into technology after years of painstaking labor to find the slaps. The Walkman was created so people can move around while listening to songs. This coincided with the Latin explosion in the early 2000s, in which multilingual artists like Ricky Martin, Marc Anthony, Jennifer Lopez, and Enrique Iglesias broke into the mainstream scene.
The iPod, released in 2001, allowed thousands of songs to be held on one smart device, and the feature remained in Apple smartphones, and sparked other companies to implement the feature, seen in the Microsoft Zune.
The innovation catalyzed a surge in the popularity of music, as people could now listen to the Beatles, 1 minute later listen to Childish Gambino, and then could listen to Jacob Sartorius. This created a new aspect in consumer tech, as companies then sold other devices, such as headphones and speakers.
Yet another technology hit the market, and the 21st century can only be defined by improvement. Currently, anyone is able to stream music on Spotify, Pandora, NextFM, or Apple TV. And on SoundCloud, artists can upload their own music, like Drake, Zayn, and Young Pop-Tart.
Due to the improvements in music tech, a man in Italy can literally have the soundtracks of the American singer Katy Perry, British boy heartthrob band One Direction, and no one knows what language he's speaking, Sean Paul, on a single playlist.
I mean, I don't know what he's saying, but it's catchy.
Yeah, honestly, the highlight of 2008.
Teacher, I have a question. What does this all mean? Why does it matter?
Good question, me from the past. All these innovations have allowed the normal person to be connected to the rest of the world, something unheard of just 50 years ago.
Our values have changed as well, with the richest people on the planet as tech moguls and celebrities being born out of social media. Right now, everyone needs tech, except the Mongols. Negatives have occurred in people's lower vision levels due to all the screen time, a more sedentary lifestyle, and the decreased attention span of millennials, as they're probably bored on their phone by this point in the video.
Movies like The Social Network have really inspired people into the drive of consumer tech and overall exemplifies the current generation.
Catch us next time in Crash Course World History, where we flip it back around and talk about the prehistoric era.
If you have a question, please leave it below in the comments so I can ignore it.
I'm a girl, Chanda Paul say, well, I'm on the way, the time cold, I wanna be keeping you warm. I got the right temperature for shelter you from the storm. Hold on, girl, I got the right tactics to turn you on. And girl,